Talk about D-Jack, man. He's a character, bro, and he was another one too. Like obviously, me coming into the Eagles, like, you got Mike Vick, you got DeSean Jackson, right?
Yeah.
And they had Shady too.
Got the big three.
But D-Jack, man, I always remember hearing like, man, he can't be. No one can overthrow him, and I'm like, bro, I be seeing Vick throw that bitch. I bet if he wanted to, he could. And then there was one rep towards the end of camp. You let it go on the go ball, and I said, "Oh yeah, he overthrew that bitch." But here comes Lil 10.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he comes through.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And then y'all boys was
running a 2-minute. We was running a 2-minute drill.
Yep, going towards the building
at the end of practice.
Yep,
the very end of practice, I hit DeSean on a bomb on the right side. I always tell people about that because, ironically, you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna go back a little bit. I was in a quarterback battle with Nick Foles.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
at the time.
Yeah,
you remember? And
which was fucking crazy, to be honest.
Nick Foles and Mike Vick.
But we ain't gonna talk about it.
But it was good because it brought out the competitive. Mm-hmm. Me being in my 11th year at the time, it brought out the competitive juices. I needed something to. You know what I'm saying? To bring that, to light that fire again.
Yeah.
And that competition lit the fire, and it actually helped me going into the season. But I remember that bomb down the right side. And the only reason I bring that up is because after that pass, I was like, yo, this competition is over.
It's done. Knocked him out.
And then, you know what? The competition wasn't over. Chip kept the competition going for like another 2 weeks, man. And I remember like, because, being in your 11th season and being in a quarterback competition, you like, yo, I done did enough in my league. Why I got to go through this? And I remember just, because I'm emotional when it comes to football. I remember crying that night, like, what more I got to do? What more I got to show? But, obviously I needed to show more. You know what I'm saying? And I ended up winning the job. And with Nick, his career became amazing because he got a chance to sit behind me and watch me.
Yeah.
And years later, that experience, he goes on to win the Super Bowl. So it worked out for everybody. But that little dude, D-Jack, man, that dude was a beast, bro.
Yeah, he didn't have a lot of nice things to say about Chip. We asked him a couple questions about Chip. He didn't have a whole lot of nice things to say about Chip.
We gonna talk about that.
And here's all I remember, right? Again, coming in, punters, kickers, we don't really do a whole lot of cardio. You know what I'm saying? We go off to the side. I just remember hearing like everybody, like especially the linemen and shit. I always remember Jason Peters being like, man, why the fuck we doing all this running? There was like a team meeting, bro, and I remember Chip was explaining something, and then Jason in the back was like, nah. And I was like, fuck, you can't talk back to a coach. I'm coming from college.
Yeah.
That's how it was. And then I'm pretty sure Jason didn't run that day. I think he got his way.
Well, I'll tell you this, man. Yo, he ran the shit out of us, bro.
Bruh.
Like, yo.
I remember.
For real? Like, I pulled my hamstring in week 6.
Yep.
I couldn't even recover from it, from the hamstring pull, and I know I was in shape. Usually hamstrings happen when you're not in shape. But I pulled it so high, like right up into my butt. Like I never even felt that before. Yeah. So, not to say it was Chip's fault. I just know, the accumulation of running on a 33-year-old body.
Yeah.
And I was 32 at the time. Cause Shady used to call me old all the time. I actually beat Shady in a race that year.
Bro, I remember y'all was always racing after practice and shit. And
I smoked him one time for 5,000.
Yeah. Shit.
He won't tell you that. And then I just seen Jack podcast. Shout out to Jack though. That's my little brother. He talking about Chip Kelly made me cry. I was like, bro, what are you? I had to call him like, bro, win. What do you win? And let's talk about that time. When I might have told him, I might have been like, yo, man, bro won't give me the job. She had me crying last night. Like, not crying, but I'm like, I'm mad crying. Like, yo, I'm playing so good. Like, I'm at a Pro Bowl caliber level right now. Yeah. Like, what's the reasoning for making this decision?
With like a body of work too. With like a good resume too.
Clear head going, but he Jedi mind tricked me though. But that's how coaches got to do you. That's how they got to coach you. If I was ever coach, that's how I'm gonna do I'm gonna make y'all compete.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? At a high level. Until I say it's enough.
Yeah. Until
I say you ready to take that next step forward. Until I see you ready to go and perform at a high level.
Yeah.
Other than that, you ain't ready to perform.
Right.
I get it. That's why they coaches. You know what I'm saying? That's why they can be looked at as so many different titles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mentors, confidants, you know what I'm saying? Role models.
Yeah.
Like, cause they, you know what I'm saying? That's your job.
And a lot of the shit, like even what you're talking about there, it's so translatable to life, bro. You ain't got to be a football player. You ain't got to be an athlete. But like what you're talking about, putting in the work and not really getting kind of what you think you deserve or kind of what your work reflects, but you got to keep pushing, bro. And I feel like that happens with a lot of people. So I agree with you. There's a lot of coaches that get called like father roles to a lot of these dudes, bro. Because that's what they do, man. Because a lot of these things you learn on the field, bro, or in those meeting rooms, I've learned anyway. They translate right over to life, bro.
Yeah, bro, them won't feeling chip. They won't feeling chip. But see, I was in my 11th season.
Yeah.
And I've dealt with a bunch of coaching changes. And this was their first coaching change from, going from Coach Reid, who was like a father figure to all of us and somebody we really loved, like outside of football. When he went, a lot of our emotions went, with, you know what I'm saying, out that building. Like, man, you know how you can get in your head like this, man. Come on, man. What's up with that? You know what I mean? Like, why you let Coach go?
Yeah.
And so somebody else come in and it's a little resentment.
Yep.
And you might not want to, you be, you know what I'm saying, as compliant. You're a little more rebellious. And I've seen that from a lot of your younger guys. And so I was just trying to keep it all together. I was always trying to be that leader to keep everybody together because that was my fiduciary responsibility to the team, to the organization. You know what I'm saying? Took a pay cut and everything that year just to, make sure that they was all right. You know what I mean? That was important.
Because I remember, if I remember correctly, it wasn't just like Chip that came in that was new. He brought like a whole new training staff.
Everything.
Like everything was new. I remember like the sports science section was all brand new and stuff, and like the weight room shit was all different. So I just remember hearing, even though I had never been there before, but everyone was like, man, this shit 180, like completely
everything
different.
was new except the training staff and some of the people in the administration that was probably, I would say, grandfathered in.
Yeah.
Like Big Dom and
Big Dom. Shout out to Big Dom, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Big Dom and everybody, yo. You know what I mean? So, the Strong, we would have loved to have you around that time, bro.
That would have been great, bro. That would have been great. I don't even know how old that was.
You was somewhere watching.
I was young, huh? What year that was?
2012, 2013.
Shit, I wasn't even playing football yet, low key. I was. That was like my first or second year playing football back then.